For example, the very first words of the Bible in Hebrew are Bereshit bara Elohim. The common literal translation is, "In the beginning, God creates." But the Hebraic translation, found in the Zohar, reads, "In wisdom, Elohim creates." Elohim is a Hebrew word. The root El is Hebrew for God and is masculine. The feminine form of El is Eloah, which means goddess. Elohim is plural, thus meaning gods and goddesses, male, female. In contrast to the familiar image of a bearded old man, God is established in the first three words of the Bible as androgynous, containing both male and female. The word Elohim has many meanings. In one sense, it refers to angels, the governors of creation. These divine beings are male-female, in the image of their Creator. This is clearly illustrated in most ancient images of angels, showing them to have the attributes of both man and woman. In the Bible, the angel who oversaw the creation of humanity is called Jehovah Elohim.
Jehovah Elohim formed man from the dust of the earth. He blew into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living being.
Jehovah is another important name of God, not to be confused with Javeh. The name Jehovah, or Jehovah, is comprised of 4 Hebrew letters: Yod, He, Vav, He. Yod or Yah can be translated as male or phallus, Adam. Heva or Heve is female, mother or uterus, Eve. Even the name Jehovah contains both masculine and feminine forces.
God created man in his own image. In the image of Elohim created he them. Male and female created he them.
The Elohim, the angel Jehovah, formed man in his image, androgynous. And so, as recorded in the esoteric heart of all great religions, humanity, symbolized by Adam, was once androgynous, containing both male and female.
Jehovah Elohim planted a garden in Eden in the east, and placed there the man whom he had formed.
Eden is a paradise of perfection. Eden is symbolic of the innocence and happiness that was once the natural state of humanity. The humanity of Eden was pure, knowing only goodness and virtue. As reflections of God, humanity embodied the 7 virtues of the soul. Although the Eden of Adam and Eve never existed in the 3-dimensional physical world, according to esoteric wisdom, there was a physical place called Eden that was located in Mesopotamia, between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. A mystery school by the same name was founded in this place by the Chaldeans. But this was not the Garden of Eden of Adam and Eve. According to esoteric wisdom, there exist 7 fundamental dimensions.
Do you not know how Allah has created the 7 heavens, one above the other?
The ascent and descent through these realms by the beings that inhabit them is represented in the Bible by Jacob's ladder. The Bible states that when Jehovah Elohim created Adam, he placed Adam in the Garden of Eden. Esoteric wisdom states that this is the fourth dimension, the world of vital energy. In Hebrew, it is called Yesod, which means the foundation. Thus, the androgynous ancestor of humanity existed in a more subtle level of nature. That is why modern anthropologists know nothing about our true origins. Though happy in its innocence, humanity, as symbolized by Adam, needed to grow spiritually. Thus Eve was separated from the body of Adam.
Jehovah Elohim took one of the hermaphrodite man's ribs, then closed up the flesh. Then Jehovah Elohim made a woman from the rib he had taken out of the hermaphrodite man. She shall be called woman, for she was taken out of the man.
This process of separation, presented symbolically in the Bible, was gradual. The human hermaphrodite was separated into two sexes, male and female, so that they may see themselves better, to know themselves. Since that time, man and woman have sought to reclaim their missing unity, which is the root of the craving for sexual connection.
For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and they shall be one flesh. And out of the ground made Jehovah Elohim to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food, with the tree of life in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
There are two trees that are given specific importance within the garden. These two trees are symbolic, not literal. The tree of life is an ancient symbol that is universal in meaning, and is found in all the cultures that have held the esoteric knowledge. This is the same tree that Moses found burning on Mount Sinai. This is the tree under which the Buddha Shakyamuni found enlightenment. This is the world tree of the Mayans, the tree of life of the Aztecs, the great Nordic tree, Yggdrasil, that supports existence in its powerful boughs. In the mystical tradition of Judaism, the science of the tree of life is called Kabbalah. But this wisdom is universal and can be found in every great religious tradition, although it appears under many names. The science of the tree of life is a map of the universe and of the human soul. Just as the tree of life maps the macrocosmos, the expansive universe, so too does it map the microcosmos, man, the reflection of the universe. Thus the wise recommendation etched in stone above the entrance to the famous oracle of Delphi.
Man, know thyself, and thou shalt know the universe and its gods.
The tree of life symbolizes the structure of the soul and the structure of creation. Its roots are in the highest realms, and its branches and leaves are all the worlds and the many beings that exist.